sometimes when you try to do something good for somebody that's in a hospital and you want to give something like blood and you can't do it for certain reasons because of your health or because of something that happened in your blood, and you may have a family thing that may prevent you from giving blood. It's not that big of a deal if you can't do it because of that. And I understand it's very disappointing when you really want to help those in need, but sometimes you just got to think about it as at least you tried. And that's what I did. Pardon me while I take a sip of my coffee. Hi everybody, it's Mena. Welcome back to my channel, or if this is the very first video that you're seeing of me, then welcome to my channel. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you didn't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoon sometimes. And today in this video, I have a story time for you about the time how I was super disappointed when I couldn't give blood at school. So this is a story about how I had signed up to give blood because I wanted to help this girl who was in a coma, because I knew the girl. I'll explain in a little bit. And sadly, they wouldn't let me give my blood, and I was so disappointed because I felt like I wasn't being very helpful. And I will explain why I couldn't give the blood in the story, because if I explained it now, I'd spoil it for you all. Anyway, so this is a story just to teach you guys, when you want to help somebody and they won't, for medical reasons, and they won't let you do it, it's not something to get too disappointed about. It's just think of it as at least you tried. So I'm gonna get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the story. So this all started about 14 years ago. I was a sophomore in high school. My school was having a event where people were giving blood to this girl who was a junior at the time, who had been in a coma. I'm not going to say how she was in the coma because it was it's just a really long story. I mean, I didn't witness her go into the coma, but the way she went into the coma was very scary. So I'm not going to explain it because it would take too long. And so they had sign-ups for donating blood to the girl who was in the coma. I really wanted to help this girl because I knew her because we had gone to Girl Scouts together. And so I signed up to get to give blood for the girl. So the day we're supposed to give blood, it's during fifth period, I'm pretty sure. My teacher sends me over to the gym at the school to give blood, and there are people sitting on like these beds, and they're getting their blood drawn, and they're like holding the stress balls, the squishy stress balls. I'm sure you guys all know what I'm talking about, so they can pump up their blood and stuff. And I was really excited to give blood. So the people that were at the blood thing were very nice and stuff, and they were asking me a couple questions like, what type blood are you, blah, 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 blah. And I said, whatever positive. I'm not going to say my blood type, right? Because that'd be kind of weird on YouTube. Anyway, so I said whatever positive, and she needed a certain blood type. So they were asking me this question, and I was telling them how I go through chemo and I get my blood drawn, and how I went through chemo and was getting my blood drawn. I had finished chemo couple years prior to this, just to clarify. Anyway, so they were asking me that, do you get your blood drawn often? And I said yes, and I get it drawn every couple months or every month or so, and blah, 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 blah. They're like, when was your last blood transfusion? And I was like scared they were going to ask me this because I could not remember when my last blood transfusion was. So the school I talked to the principal or whoever is in charge, and the school has to call my mom, and they ask her when my blood transfusion was. I feel bad because she was at work when they had called her, and so she was explaining to them when my last blood transfusion was, and I think it was 2 months before before giving blood to this girl. So after they're done talking to my mom, this is what they say to me. They say, "Oh, unfortunately, sorry, you are not allowed to give blood because your blood transfusion was 2 months prior and we need it ahead of time and blah, 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 blah. This is just to make sure your blood is still good," and yada, yada, yada. And I was very disappointed because I really wanted to help this girl. And so I asked, is it okay if I could stay a little bit to give out tickets or whatever? Because they were giving out tickets and stuff for like blood drawing and stuff at the thing. So then they could have proof that they were signing up to give blood and stuff. And they were like super nice about it. So they let me stay for a little bit, and I was helping out, passing out tickets for people who had signed up to give blood. And my job was to ask if they had signed up to give blood. So I helped out for a little bit, but then a teacher the principal, or is it the teacher? The teacher, vice principal or principal or somebody goes up to me, a teacher or somebody, me, and says, "Hey, Mena, I think you should go back to class now since you can't give blood." And she was super nice about it. And we really appreciate you trying to help out a little bit, but I think we have enough help and yada, yada, yada. But thank you though for trying to give blood. So I leave, go back to class. I come back kind of disappointed because I couldn't give any blood to the girl, but everybody told me, "It's okay, Mena, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, at least you were trying to be helpful, and you were being helpful, and yada, yada, yada. You were being safe for the girl because you didn't know when your last blood draw was," and yada, yada, yada. And that made me feel so much better about not giving blood despite the fact I signed up for it. And I felt so much better. And I also told my friend about it that I walk home from school with, and he made me feel better too. And they said, "You did the right thing, even though you were signed up to give blood. You did the right thing to protect the girl, even though you didn't know when your last blood draw was," and blah, 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 blah. So I felt so much better just knowing I still helped out despite the fact I didn't actually get a chance to give blood. There are 2 morals to this story. One of them I came up with after the first moral. So the moral of the story is when you sign up to do something to be helpful, like give blood to somebody, and they won't let you do it because of your health issues or certain reasons like that, it's nothing to get bummed about, because you can look at it like at least you tried, and at least you were thinking about doing a good thing for somebody despite the fact you couldn't do it. So that's just one thing you can look at. Or you can also ask if there's anything else you can do to help at the event you're in at school, so then you can be extra helpful despite the fact you couldn't do what you were planning on doing. So you could also do that, but sometimes they don't always need a lot of help. So you can just like do your best and see what else you can do. My other moral I forgot to mention is when you look forward to doing something helpful and you can't do it, it's nothing to get bummed about. I forgot to mention that moral. And you can just always think of what else you could do to be helpful. So that was a story about how I tried to give blood at school, but they wouldn't let me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I post every day except for Tuesday and Friday afternoons sometimes, and I'll see you in another video soon. Bye. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe.